where I feel there is an element. I'll try it anyway. Yeah.
I'm Eric. Adide is my colleague. We work mostly, well, at least for myself, Adide has her own area that she's working on. Pretty much the south side Sunnybank Hills.
That looks appropriate to you.
That region, yeah, people who look like me, you see. Yeah. And we do quite a few of the markets.
So are you Chinese?
Yes, traditionally.
That's you look Chinese.
John?
Yeah, my name's John. This is my area. Abington Milton. I only live just by Suncook Stadium.
Okay. And how's the area treating you?
Yeah, there's not many that I've driven houses for sales. Yeah, I've got a couple outside of here. So I don't know about where I need.
Yeah.
But be flexible.
Yeah.
My name is Benny. I'm a visitor today. I just finished the Agoric thesis VCL as a PL skill and came to this talk. Yeah.
Oh,
No, Stanley was with our agent before and then broke your back or something.
Yeah, break my quick shoulder.
right.
Riding the bike. Then doing the VCL.
Oh, you want to?
Agoric as a PL skill.
Well, you want to do that again? Right?
Okay.
I'm Adina. I'm working with Eric, and I'm working in the upper microwatts and
Upper microwatts.
Yes.
Okay.
My name is Nikita and I work with Paul as an administration assistant and I do container. My name's Emily. I also work with Paul as basically personal assistant and I'm located in Pintermouth.
Excellent.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Do you want?
No, I think we'll start the session.
Okay.
So this has been recorded around the country. It's
Zoom?
on Zoom. Yeah. It's a software called Zoom. So I'm going to briefly start and then introduce Gary. Yeah. So welcome, firstly, everyone.
Yeah.
So my name's Paul. I actually met a few people the first time, even though you've been with us for so long. So basically, look, we've got 200 and something people, 30 something people now around the country. For those people on the line, thank you for joining us. But we try to do sessions like this every now and then. We've had a few sessions like this. We had Orianne Swan. I don't know if you attended that session, but last session we had was basically a single mom, 4 kids that turned into a property development. Poor lady had a husband that left her. A whole bunch of stories, but basically built a property empire from nothing with 4 kids. Very inspirational story. That was Orianne Swan, one of our agents. Also a developer, has a development at Kukucha, who she's selling through us. But we try to do this every now and then, get people together in different parts of the world. But today's session is about door knocking. I have the pleasure of inviting Gary Collins along. Gary's going to talk about $1 Million Agent by door knocking, system and processes. And we certainly sent around a few emails prior to this, right? In real estate, door knocking is a method of prospecting, probably any method. But if you look at Tom Panos's stuff, which we have a subscription to, he's actually done a lot of videos on door knocking. And there's testimony on that. People become $1 million agents. This guy's $1.5 million agent just by door knocking. If you look at the videos, it talks about some of the pros and cons of door knocking, some of the things you have to watch out for, that kind of stuff, which I think Gary will definitely walk through today.
Like dogs.
Dogs, yeah, big dogs. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this over to Gary. Do you want to use the laptop or do you want to just talk?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, so maybe intro. This is a picture from Gary, which I thought was quite cool. Anyway, yeah, go for it, Gary.
Okay, what a wonderful looking bunch. My name's Gary. I'll just give you a bit of background about where I come from, what I've done in my life. I come from Melbourne. I was brought up in East Richmond. It's a pretty rough area. The rockers used to fight with the skinheads and stuff like that. So when I was there, I was 10 years old. and my first door knocking experience was when I was 10 years old. The lady, Mrs. Fisher, used to have breed budgies. And so I decided one day with Children's Hospital, raise money for Children's Hospital. I raised £1.10. And I used to go door knocking, selling budgies in a shoebox. And that's my first experience door knocking. But since then, I didn't have a normal life. I had a pretty brutal life. I was brought up in a home that I don't normally tell people this. That was prostitution, murder, theft, my bashings, and that was my home life. I ended up being put in an institution, St John's Home, for boys and girls in Vaughan, Canterbury, in Melbourne. I was in there for a few years. I lost my family when I was young. My grandparents and parents died fairly young, and my brothers. So I lost my family fairly early. So after that, I decided when I left the home, I went to school. I did an apprenticeship in plumbing. I did 1 year, and there was a recession in '71, and that didn't work out. So I went and did French cuisine cooking for 3 years. Did that, and then after that, I didn't like that so much, so I finished the course and went into mental health nursing over in Perth. So, and after that, I went on a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, which required door knocking, selling religion. If you can sell that, you can sell anything.
100%.
Yeah, so that was a good thing, and that was a turning point in my life, joining the church and stuff like that. So, because for 2 years, we cut ourselves off from the world. We're self-funded. We're not allowed to watch TV, date, or anything. We're not allowed to watch TV, read newspapers, or anything. We're there purely to teach people. After I came back from my mission, I worked for TNT Transport for a little while, and then I went back to Melbourne and worked for a promotional company, and then I worked for AMP. I'm just going to speed this up. AMP, I got Salesman of the Year 2 years in a row, working for a bunch of crooks. I won't go into that. So after that, after AMP, I got married, had 8 children, put it down to hormones. And so after I got married, I met my wife in Adelaide. We decided to either go to Tasmania or Queensland or Perth, and we decided in the end to go to Queensland, and we settled there. We went settled in '98. We bought a few property out at Yandina and Mount Injury, and I ended up with 20 acres in Buderim. We developed and bought it, and that's how I got started. I was in real estate at that time, and I was selling mainly from Mount Coolum to Blyde. So I was in real estate for about 5 years. So I know a bit about real estate. So after that, I went back into nursing, did 20 years in nursing, worked at all the major hospitals in Brisbane. I specialised in psych nursing and working with mentally impaired people who are psychos and all sorts. So I've experienced the walks of life and dealing with people's behaviours. So besides that, my actually last experience I worked at in Western in the Simpson Desert with the Aborigines. That was my last major job. I came back home and then had an injury with my what they call my ears. I had a barotrauma, and barotrauma is where your ears, your function of your ear tubes don't work, open shut properly, and and when you go into high altitude or diving, you do the Valsalva movement. To release the pressure in your ears. That's what we call middle ear pressure. Anyway, I decided to start up a charity, moving into the charity bit, and so I raised money for my son, who's Down syndrome, he's 24 now, and he's my youngest son. So I went out raising money. I door knocked the southeast 8 times, over a million and a half of doors, and I raised over $1 million. just by taking small change off people. So, and I got the idea one day. I thought I talked to a couple of agents and get referrals for them to help money for my charity, and it helped them get leads. So there was a two-way street agreement. And my main problem with dealing with certain agents, they didn't honour their agreements, and they didn't follow up where they should have. As far as my concern, we had an written agreement, but they never lived up to it. My charity, going to the charity, I decided to, when I was raising money for my son Eli, I decided to start up a community-based one. And so basically, if I hand out these cards, you can see what basically I do. It's self-explanatory on the cards. I basically help use women and vulnerable people in the community. Okay, if you decide to donate, if my Commonwealth bank details from the bank's on there, don't donate any more than 5,000, otherwise I get in trouble. Okay. So basically, what I thought, there was a great need out there, and I thought, well, that's the area I'm going to target. Now, what I started out trying to work with other organisations, like, give an example, the women's shelter, the youth shelter, foreign immigrants coming in illegally or legally, and I found that a lot of organisations weren't ethical, and I was donating stuff to them, and the staff were helping themselves to the staff, all sorts of things. So I said, no, not dealing with organisations anymore. So I'm going to be just helping people on a personal basis. So what I basically do is after I raise the money, I come across a lot of people on the door that are destitute, believe it or not. They don't have much food, or they need clothing or stuff like that. So basically what I do is I don't give anybody money. I give them a gift card, so from Kmart, and they go there and buy clothes at Kmart. If they need food, I take them to Aldi, and we do a shop at Aldi. My son's run Queensland Appliance. Paul's already met Levi, who runs the business. And one of the things I do, which I consider an essential item, is I paid to fix their washing machines and fridges. If it's repairable. If it's not, we just replace it. I collect food from bakeries. I used to do 4 bakeries a week, but now I only do 2, and we help about 20 families a week doing that. So I collect it, I distribute it out to people, and they give it to the families. And one of the other things I do is if people want to help families in their area, they go to the local bakery and see if they're not donating the food or they're just throwing it out, go and offer your service, and they'll give you the bread, cakes and whatever, and they'll just give it to the people they know who are in need. The only criteria that I have when I help people is that they're not allowed to smoke, drink or take drugs. I want to have people, because if they can afford to be on that stuff, that they don't need help, because they're lacking priorities in their life as far as where the money should go. So we don't hand out cash to people. We just help their personal needs and whatever they need on the basic everyday needs. Okay, so getting down to anybody got any questions about the door knock, about my charity, or got any queries about anything? Okay, so you know where to come if you need help, if you get rejected. Okay, so the door knocking is quite simple, is it? We just make it complicated. How do I start? Okay, when I approach people at the door, I have 2 approaches. right? And I had to learn the hard way to have two approaches. And I said, why does this guy have two approaches? It's because when you approach women and men, some men are abused by their wives. That's not common, but it does happen. And so on occasions, I've gone to the door and said, I'm fundraising for abused women. And they say, well, what about me? I've been abused. Where's the men come into this? So rather than get personally attacked by these men, I've decided to have a different approach. And what I'd say is that we fundraise for families who are destitute and abused. I say that to the men, and with the women, I say I fundraise for abused women. So I have two different slightly approaches, so I don't offend anybody. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when I'm at the door, usually I approach it, and one guy said to me that one day, and it was a good comment, because he was standing right there, less than a metre away, and he said, hey mate, don't get too close to me. And I said, well, that's a good point. I accepted that, and I always stand back. So when you go into a door, always stand right back from the door, because people don't feel threatened, and they're willing to open up to you. Okay, because they know, well, you're in my space. Because you are entering their property with the world as it is, with less morals and ethics and dishonesty and people trying to do the wrong thing by each other all the time. You've got to respect this space. Now, one of the things that you need to realise when you approach people at the door is you keep it short, brief, and to the point, and read the signals. Read their body signals, read what they're saying to you. Always look them in the eye, keep it simple, call them by name, and present yourself at the door by introducing yourself, your name, because you're breaking the barriers then. Does that make sense? Okay. So when I approach a door, if a lady comes to the door, and by the way, most women will give a donation where men won't. And if the children come to the door, they will donate before the parents will. And quite often the children embarrass the parents because they'll say, oh, I don't have any money. And they'll say, oh, Mum, but I've got some money in my... and it really embarrasses them. So, so the kids are real charitable and the parents are not. So anyway, when I approach the doors, I find with the females, I find that they're a bit more approachable and they're a bit generous. And when I approach them, I always say to them, I'm raising money for abused women from 5 cents up. And they find that a bit strange. And the reason why I say 5 cents up, because now we're living in a cashless society thanks to the credit cards, and we're making it worse by every time we use that credit card. They say, okay, for 5 cents up, you think, oh, I've got some change in the bowl somewhere, but they don't have notes on them. You know what I mean? Because I've had people come out to the door with big bowls of change that they've collected, and I've had to cut it down with the car and come back, get rid of it. And I'll go home with big bowls of change. I'm having trouble holding my pants up because of all this change I'm carrying around. So my attitude is I'd rather get something rather than nothing. Okay, so that's the reason why I say 5 cents up. Now, when I'm at the door, I get the donation from them, and I give them a receipt, which is where I receipt. I just make up my own stamped receipts. Then I say to them at the door, which is quite simple. I say, look, I have Dr. Paul Howard, who's sponsoring me, and they'll say, do you know anybody selling real estate, friend, anywhere in Brisbane? I'd say anywhere. It doesn't matter, Sunshine Coast, whatever. So they can think, they say, oh, yeah, I've got a friend over there. They're thinking about selling. Some people will give you the information in some way. Don't never ever push it. If they're willing to give it to you freely, all right. So I had one the other day. I sent on to Paul. He's selling his house next March, and he gave me his name and address, and he said, "Oh, you can call me back in March. Follow up with me then." So Yeah, so when I'm approaching people, I always keep it simple and short and respect their time. Don't, because you're in their space, you're in their time. Keep it short and brief and move on. And they respect that, and they're more cooperative. Now, when I go door to door, I always wear a white shirt. Always wear a white shirt. And why do I wear a white shirt? Yes. What's that? Sorry.
It reflects the sun.
Close. No, it reflects my good looks. No, the reason being this, and psychologists have done a test on this, like they've had people stand up on stage, they're all dressed in different clothes, black, pink, purple, whatever. And they found, and this is true, they found that people who wear a white shirt or white clothing are more honest. Not necessarily so, but they're more honest and approachable. Were you aware of that? That's why our missionaries wear white shirts. Yeah, have you noticed they wear jackets and white shirts and badges? Yeah. So when I go to the door, I always dress white shirt. And I promise you that if you wear white shirts, you'll get a different response. You'll get a better response. Because you come across cleaner, fresher, and it's just psychologically it works better. And not only that, when you get up in the morning, you don't have to choose what shirt you're going to wear. Because I have about 10 white shirts in hanging up. So when I'm at door knocking, now last week I think the last fortnight I got about 24 leads. Now, some are strong, some are weak. I just pass them on the floor. I just email it to. I don't know what comes of them. Does anything come? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I promise you this without a word of a lie. Now, before I go into that, I'll tell you this now. When I go to the door, I talk to people on the door. 95% of people lie to me. 95 plus people lie, and I can tell whether they're lying. I can tell whether they're going to give me a donation right from before they even open their mouths. Okay, not prejudging them. I've got a very good discernment in how to deal with people and how they respond to people. Whether I should spend 1 second there or 30 seconds there. Okay, because they're just wasting my time. And most often people come to the door and they give me all the excuses why they shouldn't donate to me, like a subconscious thing. And I say to them, to some very selective people, I say, listen, lady, I'm here to collect donations, not confessions. You know what I mean? And some people see the humour in that. And quite often, when people give you a donation, 70% plus people don't want receipts. By law, I have to hand them a receipt. And if they don't want one, that's their prerogative. But by law, I've got to give them the opportunity to take a receipt. Some put you on the third degree and then they turn around and say, I don't want a receipt. I always carry plenty of ID. I carry about 6 different IDs on me. It is at any one time. So I carry a letter from the tax department, one from the Charities Commission, one from the Office of Fair Trading, my personal license with a photo. I carry that. So I say to people who read all the stuff, you're welcome to read it. You know what I mean? Because some people are a bit nervy about with all scams going on today and stuff like that. So I take plenty of IDs with me. Now, 2 of the suggestions I would suggest that would help you guys you've got 2 choices. You can go to the door and say that you're sponsoring me, which is a softer approach, right? And some people will support you, right? Or the other approach is, which is the better approach if you can afford it, is and I was saying this before, females are better they collect money and people will give money to a female more so than a male because they're less threatening. So if I was in real estate and I could afford it, I would get someone to go out and pay $20 an hour between 3:30 to 5:30. Well, you're supposed to only go to 5 on that ride, creep it a little bit. The officer fair training only likes us to go to 5, but I creep it a little bit just to catch people home, right? That time frame between 3:30 and 5:30 is your key. That's your key time period. That's when you'll get most people home at any one time, okay? And on Saturdays from 2 o'clock onwards. Not in the morning, waste of time, because they're all out busy shopping. That's the only time they've got to do the bits and pieces. But in the afternoon, at one point in time, I was when I really worked there about 18 hours a week door knocking, I used to get about 5 good strong leads. And I was keeping agents in a good income. And it tests your stamina, your patience, your tolerance. It's a real tester. But I promise you this, without a word of a lie, whether you do it yourself or get someone to do it, you commit to 8 hours per week, you'll have leads starting to come in. In fact, you'll get that busy, you won't have time to scratch yourself. So if you have 3 listings constantly on your books, which I think is comfortable, I don't know what Paul thinks, that if you're looking at 3 listings, to service them well and do the honourable thing by your vendors, that's copable. You can cope with that. That's just my point of view. But once you start taking on 4 or 5 or 6, it just gets all, something seems to suffer down the track. Do you agree with that? Or
Sure.
yeah. So yeah, just manage yourself, manage your time, and I'll tell you, you'll come if you do that commitment, you'll come back to me after a few months and say, "Oh, Gary, it's working. I mean, I can't believe it. I'm so busy." You know, you'll be bringing up Paul and say, "Can I pursue the secretary?" You know what I mean? So it does work. I've proven it over and over again. You just got to be persistent, be courageous, be determined, and you'll get there. Handing leaflets in letter boxes, wasting your money on leaflets, and waste of time, waste of money. If you're going to do that, you better off spending $20 an hour on someone. And because after a short period of time, you'll know whether they're effective or not. You won't need to spend a lot of time whether you discover whether they're effective. The problem is getting a girl or someone to do it. You know what I mean? That's your problem. Getting someone who's willing to do it. There's plenty of people out there who want part-time jobs, but it's very difficult to get people to knock on doors, talk to people, because of personal fears. But if you find one, give them a bonus if they're doing all right. Yeah, that's what you need to do. So, so what I'm saying is that if you get someone who door knocks for you, raise money for the charity. And so what happens if you get someone to raise the money, then I give you a letter. I'll give you a letter from the Office of Fair Trading, and on that letter, it gives you this is a letter. If you want to pass it around, it'll give you some idea. It's an authority letter to door knock. So if you're interested, then I just give you email one of those copies to you. Okay? You can't door knock unless you have that letter. I can have as many volunteers. I can have 1,000 volunteers doing it. The only reason I don't have a lot of volunteers is because I can trust myself. There's very few people that you can trust doing this type of work. But if you find someone good who can do it for you, you'll make money. Because what happens when they're going to so when you go to the door, the difference is you're going there as an agent, right? You've got a motive in mind. When I'm going there, I'm going as I'm collecting for my charity, and Paul's company is just a secondary thing. He's sponsoring me. It's a big difference. See the difference? But if you're going to the door, you're going to let them know that you're working in the business, all right? And you're just letting them know that you're trying to support charity is trying to help the community. And that's why I said if you can find someone to pay them 8 hours, $160, a 7 or 18-year-old, that's a better way of doing it. Does anybody have any questions regarding that? It's not helpful when you don't have questions.
Yeah, it is. You know, you get a lot of houses, you're not getting the renters.
Oh, renters?
Yeah, so that's kind of, there's no way, you just got to go with that and just move on. You know, if you don't own the house, you just rent it.
Oh, yeah. But Paul does a lot of rentals, and you can get rental business out of that. Because quite often you come across people that are renting their house out or thinking about renting their house out, or you come across people that they're changing their agency from one company to the next. So you can get rental business out of it too. So if I get any, it's not a real conscious thing to me, but if I get someone to come, I'll refer on to Paul if I do get anybody.
And the houses you don't get any answer to, would you make a note of that?
What's that? Sorry?
The houses you knock at,
Okay.
you don't get an answer.
I came across a lady the other week. She's a very nice lady. Yeah, a very nice lady. And there was 3 auctions going in the one street, and I always drop them down. The reason why I drop them down because at the moment auction turnover is very poor in Brisbane at the moment, and you're going to get some. They pay for the promotion, the advertising, and all that. Whether they do it, the agents do it for the right reason, I don't know. But I spoke to a lady. She said to me, and I gave Paul the card to her, and she said to me, if this doesn't work, I'll give you a ring, because you get a lot of people who get so dissatisfied after auction that it fizzles out, and if you spend all that money, they want to get rid of the agent. So I always jot them down because dissatisfied people with their agents can become good business. Do you agree? Because it's only about 30% turnover at the moment. To me, to recommend an auction, unless it's unique, different, and ideal, you don't recommend anybody to an auction at the moment. Not with the amount of turnover that's going on at the moment, because you're not doing justice to the vendor. Even though I know I'm not even working in real estate, you know what I mean? Even though Paul wants to go in real estate, you know. So So can I ask anybody in the room who's struggling to get listings at the moment? Sure. Okay. How do you feel about trying this?
Actually, I already tried since last month.
What's that, sir?
I already tried, but a little bit difficult.
Knocking on doors.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a habit, a good habit. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. Not only that, you know why I wear long pants? Because I've got sexy legs. Because I climb up and down stairs all day and I have to wear one, otherwise I have all these women chasing me. No, because of my calf muscles. No, but look, even myself, I get days where I'm fit now, I've got to go out today. I discipline myself. What I say in my mind, I say, I'm doing this as though it's a job. I do it as though it's a job. Not because I'm getting paid for it, but I'm doing it because it's a habit for me. And you've got to get into a habit of doing it. Because if you're consistent and you put the hours in, you'll get the rewards. If you don't put the effort in, you're not going to last long in the industry. You might as well just work in the kitchen washing dishes or something. But I promise you, if you give yourself a few months and put the effort in, you'll get the result. And say, Gary, man, I'm glad I listened to you because I'm getting the results. And that's what you want. That's what it's getting in front of people talking. You're offering the service. Now, the other thing I want to talk about when you go to the door, and a lot of people are not aware of this, you see these stickers on the light say, do not knock. You see sales, okay, mainly salespeople. Now, I knock, and same, well, with canvas and orchids, and I think, I occasionally, when I don't see it, when the signs are not obvious, oh, didn't you look at that? Didn't you see that? And they've got it tucked under some stupid plant or something. You know what I mean? And you don't see it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, you don't know what the definition of a hawker is or a canvasser. A canvas and a hawker is where they're getting something in return. I'm not getting anything in return. I'm helping people who are less fortunate than myself. So I'm not hawking for nothing. I'm not canvassing for nothing. It's a misinterpretation in technicality, but people need to be educated what the terminology means. And when you go to the door and you see "do not knock," if they've got a sign "do not knock," just a plain "do not knock," doesn't have salespeople, then you respect that. You don't knock on the door. You don't see too many of those. But if it says salesman, I just say to them, "Oh, look, lady, I'm not a salesperson. I'm here. I'm raising funds for a charity." Oh, that's different. They're fine as long as you tell them. But some people, I've said to a couple of people just joking, I said, "Well, I'm here to give you, I'm from Tatsuoto," because they make all these accusations and say, "Oh, how much are you here?" And so, I could be from Tatsuoto. Oh, you know what I mean? And they change the tune. But so if you follow the strategy to the letter, I would say if you do 8 hours a week, constant, yourself, you'll get the results. You've got to, and if you have a bad week, doesn't matter. You keep going. And then one day you'll get 2 or 3 good leads and think, oh, blimey. And I'll give you experience. I could go out, I average about $50 an hour on the door, going door to door, within an hour, $50. Right? Some days, the best day on a Saturday when I used to do 9 hours, I used to earn $700-800. You know, that's only because of my charm. Okay, which is understandable. Okay, so on an average, I earn, if I'm out for 2 hours, I earn 75, sometimes $100, $125 on a good day, and you have your average. But my target is, when I'm out, I get $50 an hour. That's my target, and I keep moving until I get it. If I'm running out of time, I just move faster and harder until I get my target. And that's it's all up here in the thinking. And if all you have to do is be persistent and just think positive, because when you're out there, you'll have bad days. You'll have bad days. What a waste of time this is. No, I haven't too. I've gone out after the first 3/4 an hour. I haven't earned anything. I think, man, I'm going to make up. And all of a sudden, I make up the lost time. I get the donations coming because I stuck with it. Otherwise, you just give up and throw the towel in. But I promise you, who's prepared to give 8 hours a week to do that? No?
Yeah.
Okay, no, I promise you. And I want you to report back to Paul and let you know, tell me that what the results you've got, you know, because you'll be amazed. The change, you'll feel better in yourself. You'll feel positive, because the good thing about this business is you're not selling me, you're selling a service. This is what people come to the door and say, "Oh, you're a salesman." No, you're doing them a favour. You've got to think in your head that you're doing them a favour. If you believe in the company and what you're doing, you're doing them a favour. That's how you've got to think all the time. If you don't believe in the company, you question yourself, you're doubting, then why are you here? Because Paul wants you to succeed, and you want to succeed yourself. Otherwise, if you don't, that's just why you're here. Otherwise, you're going to go broke, and it's going to cost you more money. That's right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think what you say is very good, because I used to have the thinking that, I hate to go and interrupt people during the day.
Trouble people.
Interrupt.
Interrupt people.
Somebody's day. So you knock on his door and you just interrupt his day. But what you just said is good. You just go there to your service.
Yeah, be of service. And yeah, that's right. And because they if you find somebody who wants to sell the house, then you're providing you're providing them the service so they can move on with their life. Whether it's good, bad, different, indifferent, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're providing them the service so they can just move on, whatever the reasons are. Maybe they want to get away from their husband. I don't know. But yeah, so that's how you've got to think at all times. But I would encourage everybody in this room. And one of the things I suggested to Paul the other day, and this is what I would do. This is what I would do. When you go to the door and you give people material, don't want to hit with material. You give brochures and stuff like that. And they look at it and think, oh, this is too much to read. You know what I mean? I suggested to Paul, like your card on this one home, is to put, this is what we offer, key points on the back of this card. See that spare space? I'd be filling that space up. Okay, in dot form. I'm honest because I'm prepared to lose my commission. Whatever, in brief, I'm just giving an example. We have low commission. We do free advertising. The things that stand out from every other agent, as I said to Paul, he's got to come up with ways that he stands out from every other agent is doing the norm. Now, like for instance, I'll give an example. I wouldn't work for a franchise because you've got too many rules, too many restrictions, too much politics. You know what I mean? So where Paul's business, you've got more freedom. Okay? So if it was me and I was trying to sell houses, I'd be putting key points on the back of that card. So when people look at it, say, well, that's interesting. If you're prepared to commit to that, they just look at it at a glance. I've never said an agent is prepared to give up his commission to test his honesty, because there's no other agent doing it. And if you're competing with 2 or 3 other agents, you need the edge. You need to come up with things that give you the edge.
I put a picture on my.
Well, what's that? Sorry.
I put a picture on my.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but
On the
I
back of it, what's on the
don't know. What do you think
Yeah.
about the key points?
It works, yeah, it works.
Yeah.
Standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Communicates.
yeah, so
Yeah, I've got a picture too. I've got pictures.
well, I don't have a picture because I'm that good looking that it's
There we go.
yeah, so yeah, no, that's what I do is go to pen and just put it on just key points. We like what's the you don't pay for we have low commission. To my son, I introduced Paul to my son. He's selling at Birkdale 1.1 million. I said to him, get Paul to sell your house. And he's got a really good way of now he's been on the market 3 months. He had no other person going. Now I can see in the next few weeks he'll be back to me because he's had 2 or 3 other agents about a year ago and they were useless, and he's still stuck where he is. And I told him, get Paul to sell your house. And I said he has to learn the hard way. Well, it's actually his wife's house because he married to. She had money, he didn't. But anyway, yeah. So if you do that, people like to look at the things at a glance. Like, for instance, when I go up to people. And I've already given Paul on this. When people help me in the shop or they serve me, and I say to them, okay, I want to thank you for your help. This is from here. I always go the Latter Day from a Latter Day Saint point missionary work. I always give them one of these. They look at it and look at it in a moment and say, "Gee, I've always wanted to know those questions." And so I wanted to give to you as an opportunity to, if you're ever interested, I can answer those questions for you. They look at it at a quick glance. You're not given a whole bunch of material because they're not interested in that. They just want to know what you can do for them without feeding them with too much material. Okay?
Hey Gary, I find the first 30 seconds is the hardest.
The first one,
30 seconds,
why is that?
you know, that's when they open the door with defense. If you can get through 30 seconds, then you can get
I just put my foot in the door. No. I'm only joking. Don't take it. No, well, that's why it's John, isn't it, John? That's why it's so important. This is what I do. When I knock on the door, I used to use my knuckles, and I found out I was getting calluses on my finger. This is ridiculous. So I use the back of my pen now, tap on the door, because most of the bells on people's doors don't even work. I can make a business out of that, just fixing people's doorbells. You know what I mean? So just working. This is what I do. When I knock on the door like that, I step right back that distance, and they find it less threatening, especially women. But, and they found it more. They find you more approachable. And think, well, this guy's no threat. He's standing 3 or 4 feet. He's nearly off the edge of my balcony. Okay, so that's what you need to do. You step right back. Does anybody do that? Good.
Yeah.
You do that? Good.
I've never,
You haven't done that?
I've never felt it.
Okay. Well, what's your thoughts about that, John?
Yeah.
Yeah, just step right in and wear a white shirt. So do that, and you'll find people more approachable.
Johnny Cash would have known looking real estate.
Yeah. yeah. So anyway, I think I've covered just about everything.
Good. Yeah. Phenomenal.
Look, please. I'll give you. Everybody's got it in the card. Please get back to me. Please ring me and let me know how you go. Okay. What do you feel about? I know, and sometimes it's expensive. What do you think about on? Do you know anybody who could door knock collect for you? Collect. You don't. I know it's very difficult to find an ideal person. I mean, there's people out there. There are out there that will do it because a lot of these kids a lot of these people got no money and they're looking for money. No, I'm serious. And they're looking for, and some would prepare to give it a go.
It takes a lot of trust, doesn't it?
Mm.
You might just
They might take
go around and
Take the money.
go and have a coffee around the corner and come back to the money.
Yeah. No, but look, the thing, but I'm just saying, keep it in mind because if you do come across someone, give them the opportunity. Give them if they've got a good aura about them, good presentation, mate, grab them and ask them. You know, whether it's friends, family, whatever, just ask them. Would you, if I paid you $20, just use that for example. And now, would you go and do a knock for it? And you only have to do it first few hours, and you'll get an indication how many leads you get or the response you get, whatever. But if you go to the door, the only disadvantage is you can only use this if you do it yourself. You can only use that as a soft note, as a secondary approach. You know what I mean? That you're getting sponsored by, you're sponsoring. It sort of softens a little bit. That's what makes people. Oh, so I didn't realise it. That's good charity. I'd like to try and help you. What can I do? I want you to sell your house.
But just one question. And
Only one?
If the only one.
To you, good to me.
With this, if you said that, you said if you find someone
Mm-hmm.
in our job, most of the time when you go to the people, they need you to come on the right way and give them the appraisal of things. So you need the estate agent, not only the person just knocking the door for you.
Oh yeah. No, the person knocking the door for you is giving you a lead in, a connection. I had one the other day. I was going down. I was working in Camp Hill, and I come McEwen Street. Yeah, Amanda. She put it with Bella. Anyway, I was walking down and the lady said, oh, I just listed my house just yesterday. Otherwise, I would have considered you. I just missed that by one day. So I go down a few houses down the road and the lady said, oh, yeah, it's good that you mentioned it because and that's the day I rang and told, oh, I was planning on listing it next week. You know what I mean? All they're doing, all these people are doing is giving you leads. And then you say to them, well, look, can I get the agent to ring you? You know, then that's where you come in. That's a lead that you didn't know about.
Yeah, because in our experience, the
Yeah.
people, there are two types of the people.
Mm-hmm.
There's one
Male
of them
and
they
female?
don't want to serve, and the other one they want you give them the appraisal on that
Ah,
time. So I think it's a little bit difficult if you let them, okay, the agents come to you later. So
I
it's just
suppose
because
I
of
suppose you got to give, if you want to use that, you got to give that script, tell them what to say.
yeah.
Because if you do it, you say it differently from what you say.
Yeah, well, just they don't need that. They don't need for you to get a lead from the people collecting money for my charity. They don't need to like. When I go to the door, all I say to them, I say, look, do you know anybody in Brisbane between Gold Coast and the Sunshine Coast that's selling a house or a unit, whatever? The husbands and wives, I don't care what you sell. Yeah, just keep it simple and they'll think for a minute. Yeah, all right, actually, I know my brother. He's selling in about a month's time, right? And he'll say, well, can I have his name? And some people won't do that. It's privacy and they put, you know. But some will, they'll say, oh, they'll contact them, but they don't give, 9 times out of 10 they don't do it. But you get people who will give their name and address to you. They're the solid ones. Those who are prepared to give you their name and number, they're the solid ones. Now, otherwise, they wouldn't give it to you in the first place. And you get those who, so I get people who say, look, I know the neighbour across the road there is selling, or he's got his house on mate, or it's a silent listing, or he wants to sell it private, you know, whatever. And I just go down and jot the number down, look it up and after you don't, well, I don't look it up. You guys look it up and after each other and contact them, find out what the score is.
It's a bit like, when someone contacts us, information over one of our listings, and they don't, where their phone number is, it's blank, you don't leave a number, and you think, well, why would you do that? You usually find they don't come to anything.
Yeah. Look, I've been doing this long enough now to know who's genuine, who goes, fairy stories or whatever. I just move on. Because time's precious, and you just, Look, the arrangement I've made with Paul is that that we get a list, and I said that if I get a lead and it's only a hairy fairy, or like the ones I gave you at where was the other day, Wollongabba, those 3 properties and all that. The neighbours were cutting their blocks off and selling them and stuff like that. Were they good? Yeah. So there was 3 in a row, and how I got them is that the tenant told me that these 3 guys are selling and they're cutting their blocks off and putting the house on to sell them, or they're just selling the blocks. So I jotted them down. You know what I mean? And he was just giving me the information. So I just take it, take the information, pass it on, and he does just contacts me. Oh yeah, some will work, some don't, whatever. Yeah, but that's the only way to do it. You don't get leads by shoving stuff in the letterbox. It's a waste of time. Anna, do you still do that? Put leads, stuff in the letterboxes? How do you find that? Not very effective, right? And it wastes a lot of money, isn't it? Well, you must spend that on someone who needs the money and get in front of people. Because one lead will lead to another. You get one lead, and they'll tell you someone else is selling. It's a double whammy. It just keeps going. Leads and letterboxes don't tell you anything.
I did it for 12 months in New Zealand. I was getting very inventive. I had wanted posters with me with the birds. Have you seen this man?
I love
He
that.
wants to sell your house. But nothing. So I was coming up with all sorts of things.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I was spending hours just walking around an area.
No. What you got to do is you got to start thinking smarter. You got to keep, come up with ideas. You got to get smarter. You heard this saying, not smarter, not harder. And that's why you got to,
One day they're going to ban the door knocking. It's bad enough they banned their phone calls, isn't it?
yeah, look, with canvassing over the phone, so the problem is now with scam. I was just saying yesterday on the radio this morning, with Bitcoin, 1.3, they're spending 1.3, this is what was just said recently, $1.3 billion advertising scams to get people caught up in Bitcoin. And they're losing millions. People are losing millions because of it.
They use celebrity pictures, Mel Gibson.
They pitch people's identity, a star, a famous person and stuff, put it there. Oh, they think that they're supporting. Yeah, Bitcoin, anything electronic currencies, steer right away from it. So anyway, look, guys, just if you just give yourself 8 hours a week, just get a person. Ideally, this is the best idea. You find a person who wants to collect for me, right? You know what I mean? Where they collect $10 while they're out, it doesn't matter. But if they can get your leads, it's really worthwhile doing it. It's really worthwhile doing it because they're not doing it with an alternative motive as much as you are if you go to a door. Because I don't get paid. People say, "Oh, do you get paid for this?" And I say to people when they come to the door, I say, when a charity comes to the door, they get paid for it. Do not donate to them. If they get paid, they usually come in twos. There's Cancer Foundation, RSL, Arts Union, whatever. I said, don't pay it because 90% of the money doesn't go there. Because what these large charities do, they get corporations raise the money, like APCO. And this is where you get all this mail coming from the same direction from Sydney, same PO box address. They come from the same direction because the company's making all the money out of it. Because what happens, I'll tell you how it works. They raise the money for the charity, let's say some send out door knockers and stuff. And they give the charity all the money, right? This is the technicality of the law. You give the charity all the money and the charity gives them 90% back. And they're going down to Hawaii at your expense. Okay?
Cool.
That's
Thank
it.
you, Gary.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well done. Well done.
Okay.
I thought the rest of the time we're here. Thanks,
Yeah,
Gary.
sure.
That was awesome. That was awesome. But I like the idea of softening that approach. What Gary's got now is he's got a T-shirt. He's got a T-shirt. I don't know if you want it. He's got a white T-shirt with the Oxbridge logo on it. I think maybe the next step is to get a cap with your charity ARO on it. And so people say, so what are you doing? Well, I'm actually raising money for charity. 20% of my commission, whatever, goes to Gary. Gary's a legit charity. You can look it up, all that kind of stuff. I think it works because we live in a society where people are more conscious now.
Yeah,
Ethical,
that's right.
social, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So at one point in time, I used to wear a badge for real estate, and people used to say on the hat. And I used to say, well, what's that thing? And so that's the real estate to sponsor me. I didn't have to ask the question. They just brought up out of curiosity. And that's just another way you can do it because they'll say, what's that thing stuck on your shirt or however you wear it, not on your nose if you want to put it on your nose. I don't care where you put it. But it works because you're creating a query in their head. You know what I mean? You say, well, what's that? You know what I mean? And that approach is fine. You know, like you said, you wear the Oxbridge symbol on there, and people say, well, what's that? And so this is who we're funding, the charity.
Okay. Questions? I suppose. Thank you, Gary. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
So you can stay, or you can leave. We're just going to go through some general stuff about door knocking, and it's something that we use quite a lot. Because the whole thing is it's based on algorithms. I quite like algorithms. It's something that it's called the Google driving map. I don't know if you want to sit through that. You can if you want. That's basically uploading a CSV file into Google Maps.
Right.
And because I think John's seen this. So when we door knock, ours is more targeted. And I think you're happy to work with anyone here, right? For that.
Yeah.
You haven't worked with anyone.
I'm
you
no
can door knock a
respecter of
suburb.
persons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. I've got tons of leads at the moment. I've got hustling time. So if you want leads in, you door knocked, what did you door knock? The prestige suburb down south or something. Balimba. Let me know. I've got
Actually,
Balimba.
yeah.
Trying to change it. Oh my God.
Now, okay, let me tell you this. This is funny.
Yeah.
Magella sends me one of your
One of our agents, yeah.
agents. She sends me a letter the other day, and she says to me, because I said to her when I was out with her last week, she says, "Oh, well, I'll help you get this." Anyway, we're just proposing to buy a property down near Landsborough, right? Anyway, she says to me, "Listen, I want you to work in all these areas for me." Hang on, wait.
She's on already.
Yeah, she's on already. I'm thinking, no, hang on, go back. Anyway, if I'm working in, and this is what I tell you, if I'm down in that area, down in Beerwah, Beerburrum, all the rural, but you get the little sort of. I'll tell you something now. This is no joke. And I've done Mullaney, I've done all those little towns up there. The people are more approachable, they're more friendly, they're not as troppo like they are in the city because anxiety or stress, because they're more relaxed and they'll talk to you and they're more willing to, they're more approachable. You know what I mean? Because they're amongst the flowers and the birds and the bees. You know what I mean? And so I find if I'm going to be living down those areas, I'm going to do all those little country towns. I said to the lady who was selling me this house yesterday, Cassie, I said, look, you're going to have some competition on it. If I move into this area, you won't know what hit you. I'm just forewarning her. Yeah, no. Anyway, no, she's still with her. But anyway, no, the little country towns and that, you know, they're brilliant. The people, it's just different. It's just like going back 30 or 40 years ago where people were more friendly, more approachable. You know, brilliant. And I'm looking forward to doing those areas. And I'll tell you what, I'll get a lot more leads, I'll tell you.
Cool.
Okay.
Thanks, so I want to go for the
Okay.
rest. So you could have a rest.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So Gary's happy to work with them. I've got a whole bunch of leads I haven't been looked after. John, if you want Balimba, if you want what's Camp Hill, let me know. Because I've sent people around, you know, I don't have time myself, but people go and follow these leads up. They're great, solid leads. And Gary's a master at this. Absolutely master.
Oh, the other thing I was going to offer.
Yeah, go for it.
Anybody who wants to come out with me for an hour.
That's it. Yeah.
Right. I'm quite happy for you to come out and just stand with me while I do the door approaches. Because that's in reality. You can see me in action in reality. You know what I mean? So that way I think you feel more comfortable rather than me talking to you here today in theory. Because I think, gee, this is not as bad as I thought it was.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So I'm willing, if you're willing, right, just come out for an hour, because you'll get the idea after an hour. You know what I mean? And then what I'll do, after you see me do it, then I'll get you to do a couple of doors. You know what I mean? And so you get the idea of it. And that's how our missionaries do it. When new missionaries come into the area and they're coming from a foreign country and that, and we call them greenies, right? The new ones coming in because they serve for 2 years. And the experienced elder will do all the initial doors, and the greenie will just do a few just to break them in slowly. Yeah, so that's how we do it. So basically, I'm happy to do that. You know, like if you, because I'm at the moment I'm doing Camp Hill area. I'm doing Camp Hill, and once I finish Camp Hill, I'll be doing Seven Hills and you know, Cooper around that area. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I suppose for the rest of the time, I know everyone's busy. I try to keep it within an hour, but Gary's got tons of content. I've also come up with a few tips for everyone. This is obviously from my experience, but from research as well. But a few things just to go through, and then we'll quickly go through a Google Map exercise, which I think is quite useful for a lot of people. I think people have seen it especially for new people in the company. But just a few things I just found in doing research. Obviously, the best door knocks I found is for sales, just listed and just sold. I have to agree with Tom Panos when he says just listed, just sold. Full disclosure, I hardly sell anything these days. I'm selling. Gary's got a beautiful property, 10 bedrooms, right? Just listed.
Yeah.
Five houses. I've just listed blah blah blah. Do you want to update? Just sold is brilliant as well. It just depends how big you want to go, and that's a brilliant excuse because I'm not selling anything. I'm just here's me. I've just listed a property down the road. Do you want to know how much it's? Of course I do. It's my neighborhood because I might be selling in the future. Right? Do your research. Flyers always. I always leave flyers. I've got a letter that I always leave. I've experienced with doorknob hangers. They're quite good. I never ever drop letters. That's useless in their letterbox. When I do leave flyers, I leave it at the doorstep of the person on the actual balcony, on the porch, because I see it first. Oh God, this guy's actually been here, right? Powerful scripts, definitely. I've experienced with handwriting. Now, I'm a big software person, as you know, as I patent everything. This is a great software that I download. It automatically does the handwriting for you. So right, you can use scripts, right, but it doesn't look like handwriting. You can use brush scripts or whatever scripts. You can print it off, but this software is actually handwriting. You download, so it's free. I'll put this on our resource page later. This is from a professor at UCL. He's come up with this brilliant software. Handwriting works 100%, right? Instead of boring old, letter or brochure from someone, you handwrite it, right? And you can customize. I don't know if you know mail merge. I've got a mail merge where the fields are left off. Dear, first name, and you extract. I'll show you this in a second. You extract about API data. Dear so and so, I've just been to your home. I've just listed blah blah blah. Would you like to know your price? It's pretty cool. Offer something valuable. I thought was another one because people want value. People always want something out of it, right? I'll give you a free report. I'll give you this. Door knocking with open homes. I've got assistants, as you know, I do open homes. My assistant goes down the road. I have an open home. Do you want to keep in touch? Just a few things quickly. Tuesday neighbors and friends. I'm selling a house at the moment. Some may be moving in, that kind of stuff. Would you like to know who's moving? I can introduce you, that kind of stuff. Bring in treats from the neighborhood. That works. Short conversation. Make those work. If they reject you, not a problem. Thank you very much for your time. Be positive. Here's my card. Keep in touch. The last thing we're going to do is just some scripts you can read. There's some scripts that I took off, I suppose, Tom Panos. So there's three things: just sold, just listed, value add script, and then the neighbor script, which I thought was quite good for real estate. The last thing I'm going to do, this is something that we've always done. John's been here with us for a while. Is the Google driving map is phenomenal. It works. It's targeted. It 100% works. I'm going to quickly go through it because I think there's a few people online. What I'm going to do is everyone's got time? Oh, time is an issue. You got time? You can stay if you want.
12:15.
But I want to be sure. I never go through. So what you do here is it's very simple. The idea is very simple. You want to make sure you target the people that are selling with a higher probability. It's all very well and good to do random door knocks if you have time, but random door knocks is obviously tiring. Not everyone has the energy, Gary, But what we do.
It's only because I'm 40 years younger.
And plus, you've been very successful in your professional life, and you can do that now. But look, what we do is we target two types of listings in any suburb, and you can find this on API data. The two types of listings we target are, John, withdrawals and OTMs over 60 days, right?
Options.
No, on the markets over 60 days. So we can jump, we can't jump forward, but if it's over 60 days, it's a little bit different because the exclusive runs out. Once the exclusive runs out, then we can do something with them.
So what about the ones, the options that won't go through?
That's cool.
Do you want those leads?
100%.
100%.
Options are good too. But I suppose what I always do is I pick a suburb, any suburb. There's 3 buttons down on your RP data you should have a look at as this is being recorded. These 3: withdrawn listings, listing over 6 days, and find leads. I would start door knocking those ones because they have a higher probability of listing with you. And because we can charge no marketing. Most franchisees would charge 3,000 for a premier.
But also, probably, what I've noticed just recently is that there are 3 houses just down the road, not far from me, that have been on the market for ages. It's just sitting there.
We can see that. And this is what I'm talking. This is the method that we've come up with.
Yeah.
And I'll show you. Maybe you can come up with a charity who's more likely to donate. I'll pick Campbell just for illustration's sake. So this is withdrawn listings in Campbell. So properties that have been on the market before, it's gone to the market without selling. Now there's 55 properties that's withdrawn in Campbell, and I start with that first because these have a higher probability of selling than any random door knocks because time is precious. So what I do is I always choose houses because I like houses more than apartments. Plus it's very hard to prospect apartments a lot of times, right? They've got gates and locks and whatever. I always choose houses. What do you do? Choose houses. All right, and it comes up with 35. So these 35 are hot listings. Because if you go through the listings, you will see what's happened to them. Probably because some agents had them for 60 days and then couldn't get the price they want or whatever, and then went off the market. The RP data gives you that information. I pick that and I select all. Okay, this is where a little bit of technology comes in. I then export it to a CSV. And a CSV basically is an Excel spreadsheet. Right, I'll show you real quickly. And acknowledge privacy, blah, blah, blah. Right. Stalk your girlfriends, that kind of stuff. And then you download the list. You then open the list. So this is recorded. You open the list. And then what it gives you is a list of property addresses in columns. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit technical, but what we're going to do now is we are going to do something called concatenation. It's a particular function in Excel. So you can see, right, all the properties in Campbell, and I always do just houses. I don't touch land, I don't touch apartments, I don't need to. There's many suburbs. I don't want to touch land. I don't want to touch apartments because they don't sell at the moment. Houses sell. Houses sell. So here's one, 5 Irish Street, Campbell, Queensland, postcode, etc. Right, 5 bedroom, 3 baths, 2 car length size, etc., etc. I've even got the vendor's details on here. I can see it. RP data gives that to you. His name is Blair. On and on and on. I've even got the owners. The owners are the previous owners, right? So you don't want that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to do concatenate. I'm assuming for time's sake, I'm assuming this is unoccupied, right? Not every house, although every property is going to be unoccupied, of course. But in which case, you then look at the address of the owner and not the property. But it's the same principle. What I do now is very simple. I insert a new column. I call this property address. Real quickly, sorry Gary, I'm gonna go busy. No. I do concatenate. Concatenate means to combine. It's a computer term. Oops, is concatenate. It's a function in Excel. Right? Now it wants me to enter, if you see the syntax, right? It wants me to enter text. So click on this, and this. Right? You press enter. It then gives me this thing here. Obviously, I want some spaces in between. So it gives me 5. So I'll put some spaces in between. What I do is go on this recorded space here, space here, space here. So a space here. Just quickly. It gives you that.
You do this on a Mac?
100%. You do an Excel. What I do is copy this, and I'm assuming the houses are unoccupied. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to Google Map. I'm going to place these addresses on a map, and that's important because I don't want to be randomly driving around and knocking people's doors because I've only got 2 hours of my time. I've been open on Saturday. I finished my open. I've got 2 hours spare. I want to hit the addresses. So is that okay? If it's not, so what I usually do is I usually pick the owner's addresses. But a lot of the times now, because of privacy, the owner's address is not showing up anymore, which is cool. If I hit a tenant, so be it. It's all good. If you know the landlord, great, speak to him or her. If don't, that's okay, all good. So the addresses come up here. I'll be real quick. I know everyone's like, my God, what's on? So I've got Google Map. Just real quick. All right, everyone's got pretty much a Google account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload this file onto Google Map, and I'm going to sync it with my phone, because Google Map is an app. And so what happens is, this is what I do all the time with my assistants, right? I will upload this map, your places, maps. I create a new map, right? And then I call this Campiel withdrawn. And certainly you can do this with OTMs on the market over 60 days. Just real quick. I do this all the time. I import this map. So I choose from a device. That's the map I was looking at before. That's Excel. I want to do by property addresses, which is the new field I've just created. I've just concatenated. So my job at the moment is to map this on a Google map. So you see what happens is it loads the spreadsheet, and then it puts the dots on the map in Campiel, like so. And then what I do, this is a method I've kind of come up with. It works, man, 100% works. But not many agents do this because, I don't know, they just don't know the technology. But so what I do is I get the Google app, map app, and I sync it to my account. So this is logged into my account. And I drive around using this as my GPS. So what we do on a Saturday afternoon is I have an assistant, right? Sometimes I do it myself, I think other people do it. And then what we do is we approach properties. And number two, let's go number two, 87 Bennett's Road, Campiel. We go to 87 Bennett's Road, Campiel. The reason why this is a higher probability of listing with us is because of the withdrawal. The owners wanted to sell. They want to sell this year, sure, let's go for it. We don't charge any marketing anyway if you don't pay for it. Sign the form, because we did this, right? And then
You get them at their weakest moment.
well,
No, it's
I don't want to
true.
take advantage of people.
No,
but-
they want to move on with the life.
Sure.
They want to move on.
They want to move on, well, just providing a service.
Yeah.
You want to move on to an acreage or downsize, whatever. But the reason why this works, and I've done this with Wong, I did very well into Wong, still doing very well into Wong. I basically, when I first started, I basically did this. I don't think anyone's done this before. But I basically had this on Saturday. Every Saturday is great. I love Saturdays. Saturday afternoon is great because everyone's home and you go to them and you go, excuse me, my name's blah, 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 here's my car. Look, I just thought you had a property last year that you want to sell. Look, we don't charge any marketing. What's the risk? What happened last night? Blah, blah, blah. Ray White, LJ Hook got the same thing. Screw me. My 3,000 was gone. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, no problems. Here's what we're different. And that worked for, I think, a lot of the listings at the moment. And it's even better with Gary's charity. Say, look, you like agents? No problems.
I just had a light bulb moment here.
Yeah.
And this is what I thought about. Because some agents are struggling because they're not earning enough income. Okay. And this is what I propose that every time you sell a house, right, I can get the GST, 10% GST, the government getting it, right? You organise it with the when the settlement comes, the settlement, the GST goes to me instead of the government, right? Do you understand that? Now, what I'll do for you guys is that money generated, right? I would give you a portion of that, like get business cards, pay a person to door knock for you, because that way it's an expense. It's coming in, right? And then I can create an expense. So if you get a person, I can pay for it. Since you've donated it to me, it becomes a nominal expense to me. Okay? So I'm happy consciously if you say for instance you get just 2,000 GST, you got to pay 2,000 because that's what you've earned, right? That's what you got to pay the government. So you let the solicitor know when he settles, that's going to a charity, not to the government. And so as long as you make him aware of it. So that 2,000, I can generate $1,000 back to you. You can buy cards with it, employ someone to door knock. Does that make sense?
That's a great initiative. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a great initiative because every single listing, and I think real estate door knocking is probably the best. You know, forget other stuff that you're trying to pitch because each listing is so much money. Like it's a lot of commission. One commission can set you up for 3 months, 4 months even. But this is a method that we've come up with, Gary, and it's worked. It's worked. And sometimes what we have is I have OTNs on here as well. So with Google Map, I can create another layer and I can put on the market over 60 days. And that's a great thing because fair trading says very clearly, and then REIQ says it very clearly. It's actually not legal, but it's not ethical to jump aboard. But
I can do it.
You can do it. And also the fact that if you're raising money for charity, it becomes a little bit different. And also because if you're over the market on 60 days, now you're just sitting there. The exclusive contracts expire. We come in, we're offering an alternative service. That's what we're offering. And I think that works. 100% works. And I love this method because it's targeted. Right? You got a higher probability of getting a listing for sure, guarantee you. Plus, you can weigh the marketing do what we want, right? We can offer standard, we can offer premium, whatever we want, discount premium, not a problem. And it works much better than I think per time than just random door knock. But the thing about these listings, you got to remember, right? It's a withdrawn listing. There must be a reason why it didn't sell last time. But I found sometimes it's good to be the second or third agent. When your son doesn't sell, I'm going to come in. What happened last time? Blah, blah, blah. You know, didn't sell, blah. Okay, not a problem. Well, let's sit down. What's your price now? We're not, maybe they didn't sell last time because of the market, maybe because of the agent. I don't know.
Well, Justin Belmont's the next agent with the big roads after us.
That's right. Yeah, we had a listing Belmont. That sold, didn't it? Yeah, the Boston one.
Yeah, that was for $1 million for him. He wanted more. We conditioned him for the next agent.
Sometimes in real estate, it's better to be the second or third agent. It really is. You know, sometimes if I lose a listing, whatever, no big deal, because the first agent would be the first one to cop all the flack. I want 2 million. I want 3 million.
It brings materiality.
That's correct, and that's correct. You know, and that's correct, and that's why sometimes I don't mind withdrawn listings because my philosophy, I think that's a good philosophy. Every house will sell. Every property will sell eventually.
Yeah.
We had that list. I don't know how long that guy was been trying to sell in Belmont. It was like 2 years or something.
Yeah, another agent before.
3 years or something, right? But that sold. And that lease, the listing I gave Lisa, that will sell. That will sell. And that was Gary's listing. That was Gary's. That's why that was, you know, I just thought.
Yeah, we just come across that the wrong. Yeah, Paul nearly got that. It's just that she had problems with getting sold through an agent. And
we have actually got the listing. We've got the listing.
She told me that it's on the contract.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is.
Is that
it's
true?
Sold. It's sold now. I was going to tell you that.
But we had the listing sign everything.
It was the next 2 days after that.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's cool. But Gary's phenomenal. I mean, your leads are, I can't even keep up.
I had some hot buyers. So
yeah. So I think going forward, I've got a whole bunch of leads that Gary's given me.
So you guys, so if you sell a house, if you sell a house and you want money, you don't want to take the money out of your own pocket, I'll give it back to you. You know, I'll give you a lot of it back to you to put it into some collecting. Look, there's a lot of kids out there that don't have work. They want pocket money. Someone will be happy to do it. You just got to find one right person to work in your area. You only need one to generate your leads.
That's true. And we need one sale to pay for that. Right. And I think that sale will come from something like this.
Yeah. So and the government will just waste the money. So it's better back in your pocket than my pocket. You know what I mean? And so I'll say to you, okay, sorry, I forgot your name. Adina. Adina, go and get some cards printed. You know, here's $1,000 to pay for someone to door knock for you. you're not under any pressure.
So how does this work? So we made a sale.
Yes.
So the commission paid. So it actually comes up from your trust account in the form.
I don't have nothing to do with it. It's off of Gary. So basically, Gary wants to raise money for his charity.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could, I mean, for example, you know,
but the
Eric,
commission is paid.
commission's paid,
Yeah.
and
From your
then
trust
I think what we'll
account. Like
do
invoice.
is we will so you invoice, and then we'll
Yeah.
pay that commission, and then you can then pay Gary, I suppose.
Something like
Nothing to
As
do
long
with
as you
us.
let the solicitor
It's a
know that
charity
the money,
thing.
that the money's going to a charity, you've got my details, it's going to a charity, it's not going to the government. That's the other difference. There's not, so when they do the settlement, all it's doing, instead of the government getting it, I'm getting it. As long as the solicitor is aware of it.
You
So
get the GST.
I get
Because of the GST and the 20 and the 10% or 20%.
And so what I'll do for you, is I'll give you X amount of money back because I can use that as an expense, right? Anomalies, what they call anomalies. And I can use, as long as I got the receipt, because once the money goes in, I've got to justify it going back out.
Yeah. I don't think we tell the solicitor because most of the time the holding deposit is held by
the agency.
by the agency.
Yeah.
So
Well, I can deal with that.
the
That's
agency
easy.
has to
That's
do
easy.
it to us.
Yeah.
So we tell you.
But believe me, Gary's rare. Gary's so rare. When he said, "Oh, I don't know,"
That's
this-
why my wife married me.
no, I mean your ability is so rare.
Yeah, it's just that after 8 children, she wanted to get rid of me. No, she put me
Gary.
in the pasture of electric fence.
But I guarantee you, finding someone like Gary is a godsend because you've done door knocking before. You know how hard it is. It's so hard to find someone who's willing to door knock and give you the leads, all that kind of stuff. It's hard, and for charity.
And I even say to people at the door, I said, why do you do this? Because I like taking money off people.
And funny too. Believe me, it's hard. It's hard. And so Gary's happy to work with anyone in the team, right? In exchange, obviously, for small donation. I mean, I don't know what the percent you decide.
I'll say, like for instance, I give Paul mixed. I had a guy last week at Balmoral, and I went to him and he said, "Oh, how's your house something?" He said, "I think the market's slow and it's not that. It's just your wacko agent, you know, because it was a good location."
Kingston property.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah.
But
And so I just said to I said, well, I knew he's frustrated, so I thought I'll take the details. He wouldn't talk to me because he didn't want to talk. So I just took the details, his number and his street, and passed on to Paul because he's frustrated.
Got the list.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but here's the thing, right? I don't have time, but I do have a lot of leads, right? And this is just straight between you and Gary. Let me know.
All right, I have to go because I've got my car.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
2 hour
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks.
So any questions, let me know.
Nice
Where's your area again? Sorry.
Caboolture. Warrowfield and what was it? Dolmy. I've just taken over that because there's a lot of renters in Dolmy and a lot of renters in Caboolture, a lot of DH, you know.
Yeah,
government
sure.
Caboolture,
Yeah,
so
NDIS.
I've got a, you know, there's not many private homes. I've got to find them, you know.
You should call Orianne. She's selling at the moment. She's got a whole development apartments. I'll text you her number. She's got 6 floors of it. That's the mom, the single mom that built a property.
Oh yeah.
That's
That
right.
was last week.
Were you here?
No, I wasn't here. I was
You
actually listening on the
line. She's phenomenal. She's got a portfolio.
Yeah.
I'll text you her number.
All right.
Maybe just
that'd be
sell
cool.
for her or with her or something.
Yeah.
Nice meeting you, Sylvia.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice
thanks,
meeting you
Sylvia.
all.
See you
Yeah,
later.
nice meeting you too.
See you later. Bye, Sylvia.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Have a good afternoon. See you later. All right. I think 12:30. Any other questions and anything for Gary? But I think Gary's happy to do this. Phenomenal.
Yeah. So so just conscious. So if you sell a property, don't give the GST to the government. Okay. Because I can help you with
Which government? Which government?
the crop government. Yeah. So which is not so far from the truth. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good. So that's today about door knocking. Anyone online that's got any questions? No. Okay. Oh, good. So it's been recorded. I'll put it on a shared drive. But that's I think that's quite good. Having someone that's willing to obviously door knock and you're very good at it in exchange for a small donation to charity. You're getting nothing out of it. That's awesome. That's crazy. That's amazing. It's amazing. Combined with this method, which Gary's offering your services.
The reason why. I mean, I when I was setting up the charity, and I was talking to the solicitor who was helping me do it, and I was submitting the application to the officer, which took a year to do it. It's not easy to set up a charity now. They've really come down hard on it now because there's so many crook charities out there that they're suspending them every year. Thousands of them, hundreds of them, they're suspending them.
What about the people on the streets? Are they phoning something?
Yeah, well, they get paid. So I say to people, if they get paid, don't donate. That's just my rule. I wouldn't donate to them because the money just doesn't go where it's supposed to go. So what I'm saying is that I don't get paid. I don't get paid even on a hot day. I don't even shut myself a drink or anything. Every cent I earn goes into the bank. I mean, I could be a crook. I mean, I had 900 tins in the major shopping centres around Brisbane. 900 of them. Every 2 months I used to collect it. The reason why I started pulling them in because I started getting knocked off all the time. People needed money more than I did. And so I started pulling them. I've only got about 50, 60 out there now in key locations like IGH, shopping centres and stuff like that, where they're still doing all right. But a lot of them I pulled in because it just wasn't worth it. And the main reason people ask me, so do you get paid for this? I can answer, I don't get paid for it. I don't take a red set. And if I wanted to be dishonest, who knows how, look, the amount of money it comes out of the tins, I could just help myself to it. No one knows any different. Most of the people who don't want receipts, which I give them one of these receipts, they say to me, no, don't bother with a receipt. Some people give me, one lady gave me $100 and she didn't want a receipt. So I could have pocketed that. No one knows any different, except God. He knows where,
That's right.
So that's the reason. So in all good conscience, I can say, well, I don't get paid for this. I do it as a volunteer. And the only thing I take out, as like I'll give an example, is that if I'm running around my own car, I take half or 50% of registration and petrol. Which when I do the audit, I got to explain that in the audit because I use it for private use as well as this.
You do get audited by Fair Trading, don't you? So it's us.
I've got to do it
us.
for Office of Fair Trading. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so that's Gary for you. Keep in touch.
Yeah.
Keep in touch. Gary's gonna be outdoor knocking this afternoon again.
No, I can't.
Oh, that's right. You can't. You have your Mormon thing.
No. I can't start until the 4th of November because the 7-day Adventists are doing their national charity run. And when they're one of the few charities, I know they don't have door knockers out there. They just want to hog it whether they have it or not. Because I'll ring them up and say, look, do you mind just give me a small section so I can still continue? And they're that mean, they just say, no, not interested. Whether they have the door knockers or not, and I know they don't. And that's their prerogative. They get 2 weeks a year. You ring up Red Cross or Salvation Army, and they say, look, do you mind giving me a small section that you're more likely, because they can't get the door knocks anymore. And a lot of people won't do it anymore. Like, give an example, what was the charity? Heart Foundation. They've cut raising money, going door to door anymore because it's just too difficult. And a lot of people won't do it anymore because a lot of people who are going door to door, people are becoming more tropper at the door. I don't want to discourage you, but it's just rare. It doesn't worry me because, I might get 5 people who are aggro and I might get 5 good people, and the 5 good people, it's worth it.
I keep getting phone calls all the time. From all sorts of things, cruise ships.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
I believe you can block that.
John likes that. You put your name on sites and stuff like that when they call you. Want an iPhone?
I tell no, but, and that's what I say, Paul. Once I go to the rural areas, if I move to Landsborough, I go to the rural areas, I do Malay and all that. I'll get that many leads up there because I'll do the hard yards that most people don't do.
You're gonna walk it, are you?
Don't walk it. No, you
The
know.
acreages, man. Like the
Yeah,
frontage is like
no,
100 meters.
what I'll do is I'll do the residential area in those areas. And I'm telling you now, it's just a whole different atmosphere approaching those people. They're more approachable
Yeah.
and they're more willing to help you. Yeah, so when I get into that area, I'll do beer bar and beer bar and all those areas and that, mate. I'll give the agents a run for their money.
It's good to have a friend like Gary.
They wish they didn't come on the scene.
Good to have a friend like Gary.
Mm.
Anyway, keep in touch with Gary. Gary will help you. Any other questions? Anything about anything at
So
all?
if
Administration?
you want to go out with me, I'm happy to go out with you. Just ask. I won't bite you.
Yeah, to pick a suburb, go to Mungrabat or something.
Yeah.
Mungrabat's good. Good suburb. I want to hang around for a little while because I've got another one at 1 o'clock. But Gary, thank you so much for coming in.
That's all right. No worries.
What a great job you did. Oh, yeah.
More